Is Row Spark a good value? Will it work for you? Should you sign up for that subscription? Well, I'm going to tell you some truth today in a way that you've never heard, and you've certainly never heard it in all the advertisements that you've heard. My name is Robert. I own a telehealth company. Let's get right into it. The first thing you have to understand, and you've never heard this before and you'll never hear it again, is that Row Spark is nothing at all. What do I mean by that? Well, this is an Apple computer. If you want an Apple computer, you have to buy it from Apple. Well, maybe Best Buy or something, but they're buying it from Apple. You get the point. Apple designed this. Everything in this computer is patented. Row Spark is not that. Row Spark is taking generic pharmaceutical ingredients, mixing it together, and through the power of celebrity endorsement and branding and millions of dollars of advertising, making you think that it is something unique and special and cool. Something that might help your sex life in a way that nothing else can. That is simply not true. There are thousands, well, maybe hundreds, possibly thousands of compounding pharmacies across the country mixing sildenafil and tadalafil together, because at the end of the day, that is the only thing that Row Spark is sildenafil and tadalafil mixed together. So the question isn't, should you take Row Spark? The first question we have to ask ourselves is, do you need sildenafil and tadalafil mixed together at all? Second question, should you be on a subscription to get this? And third question is, should you be paying $12 a dose? Well, if you want some more truth, guys, most of you do not need to be taking a sildenafil and tadalafil product. And I say this as someone who sells one. But look at me. Most of you do not need one. Look, if you've never taken an ED medication at all, you've never taken a Viagra, a Cialis, a sildenafil, a tadalafil, a Levitra, you name it. You've never taken a single ingredient ED medication before, but you saw Bussin' with the Boys talking about Row Spark, and now you're thinking, maybe I want some Row Spark. No, no. Odds are you do not need it. Who does need it? Well, people who have taken a single ingredient and then went through some dosing process, like maybe you tried 25 milligrams of sildenafil and that didn't work for you, and then you tried 50 and that didn't work for you. Maybe you got all the way up to 100 and for some reason that still didn't work for you. Maybe because you like to eat a big meal before sex and so sildenafil by itself doesn't quite work for you perfectly. Maybe you might be somebody who would benefit from a combination therapy, but the truth is, most people don't. And I have serious concerns about people seeing these advertisements who have never even taken a single ingredient before and suddenly thinking that the old stuff isn't even good for them anymore. It's not good enough for them anymore. What they need is the new stuff, the $12 a pill stuff, the more powerful stuff, the combination stuff. That's not the way you should probably think about prescription medications. You should probably think about taking as little of it as you possibly can to get the desired effect. And for that reason, most of you just don't need a combination therapy. But if you've decided that you do need a combination therapy, then the next thing you need to think about is, should you be on a subscription for it? Well, I personally hate subscriptions, and we don't offer subscriptions at my company simply because I hate them. Have you ever forgotten to pause or cancel a subscription? I know that you have. And what's going to happen with you if you sign up for Row Spark is probably that you're going to end up with unopened packages of Row Spark on your nightstand. And eventually, after there's 3 or 4 of them there and you've paid hundreds of dollars more than you ever expected, you'll finally get mad enough to remember to cancel or pause that subscription. That's how these things work. So, should you be on a subscription? I wouldn't personally join a subscription for ED meds. I just don't think that's a very smart thing to do most of the time. Now, what about pricing? Well, Row says that their Row Spark is about $12 a dose, and that is a really high price. I mean, it just is. How do I know? I buy thousands of these every month and ship them out to hundreds of customers across the country. I know how much these things cost to make. Now, Row can obviously charge that much and sell them for that, and kudos to them. They're a very successful company. But if you're sitting here saying, Robert, is $12 a dose a good value for a combination of sildenafil and tadalafil? Well, I would have to say it's not a good value. So at the end of the day, Row is a great company, but their combination of sildenafil and tadalafil is just that. They've chosen to call it a Row Spark in the same way we've chosen to call ours, which is about 40% less with no subscription. Shameless Duo link in the description. But there's nothing special about Shameless Duo, and there's nothing special about Row Spark, and most of you don't need either one of them. But what you definitely don't need is to pay too much and be on a subscription for something that is not patented and basically works the same way no matter where you get it. Well, I hope that was an honest enough take on medication for you. If so, give us a like and a follow. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.